Hey everybody, this is Mario Ranchi, brand strategist and founder of ManuFracture, and today we have a video about a creative meetup I organized along with Paul Armstrong. This idea started back in around February 2016, but it really wasn't as big as I believe it's going to be now. Like, it was just me and Paul, and just talking, I mean, I have videos on my channel you can check out, and we're just talking, about future things, and some of the things we talked about were incredibly important, talking about what challenges I was having, especially with networking, and then I went and did that, and then all that things, and I went into the speech, so I guess really helped, talking to someone, who's has some can have give you an outside perspective, but is also working inside your industry, so they can actually give you relevant advice and tips. So I was thinking, I've been talking also to a bunch of creatives online. I've met them through the Graphic Designers Tips Lounge. I'll probably link it in the video in the description below. Designers League, just all these interactive communities online, full of great designers, and they just reached out to me, wanted to talk about things, and we've done that before, but it's not as good as doing it in person, and I was thinking, why don't I just gather all these creatives that I've met online, that want to connect with other creatives in a community like way. And so I came up with this idea to create a creative meetup, and so we would have this in London, at Paul's office, and it would just be free for all, shooting the shit, sharing experiences, and talking about obstacles you're having, in currently in your business, or if you're starting a business, or if you're a student. We had all types of people come to this event, this meetup. It was really good, students, people starting their businesses, people who have their own businesses, so you can share all these different perspectives. I say a lot, at least for me, I say that expertise is a staircase, where people who are on the higher step can contribute to people on the lower step, and vice versa. It's a never-ending staircase, right? So if I'm on the lower end and someone's on a high step, can tell me about the experience and kind of bridge that gap that I'm feeling at the moment. And that's really important, more often than not. The other thing is, as creatives, we get really isolated a lot. It's terrible, doing conference calls in underwear, the deal. So yeah, and just, you have problems, really connecting with other people in the industry personally, having relationships like that. And I think those relationships are incredibly powerful. The ones, it all just starts with one little meetup, and then in the next few years or so, I could be counting on these guys for something, huge, I don't know, maybe a huge branding project I can't take all on my own. Maybe I can have one of, maybe Natasha, maybe Lucy can, help me out there, whatever it may be. These people in this video, I've formed, a starting point and a good relationship to where I can build a foundation of this huge network, that will probably evolve from, just this one meetup. That's basically my vision for this entire thing, and I'm sure everybody else who's watching this video, especially the people who came to the meetup, I'm sure would love that to happen as well. So yeah, I'm basically done with all my thoughts, really good experience. So without further ado,
there are some spare chairs and stuff outside actually, which we're probably going to need.
You guys really planned this.
No,
Hey.
this is what you call winging it. Carry on,
It's really cool.
This is cool.
That's creepy.
Well, give us a start.
I'm gonna zoom right in your face, Paul.
So yeah, start with me and
You're recording,
I suppose
right?
we'll go around to left, right?
I'll
So,
just take your audio.
my name's Paul Armstrong. I'm the managing director of Unrattled. We founded Unrattled just a little over a year ago. My main role in the business is I'm a brand strategist, so I work directly with the client on a consultative level, and then help traffic and drive that work through the business. Probably our biggest challenge, and will be for most companies, is for us it's growth. We want to grow, we want to do it fast. We don't always have the resources and everything we need to be able to do it. So that's kind of us, that's where we are.
Yeah, okay. I'm John Draper. I run an animation studio down in Devon called Stormy Studio. Predominantly, it's do a bit of filming and graphic design, but it's mainly animation, 2D and 3D bits and bobs. Used to work at a kids cartoon company in Soho, and then worked at a studio in Surrey for 8 years, where I sort of learned my trade, I suppose, and then up sticks to go and live by the sea.
Nice.
And it's been going for 2.5 years. Started off in the spare room. Now I've got a small office space with not much natural light, but it's cheap. It's got the internet. Enough space for about 4 people. On a quiet day, it's just me trying to win business or finish off bits of animation. Recently been trying to outsource more, having people work remotely, and trying to manage it and be the creative director I'm supposed to be. Yeah, and I've got some big clients. Like I've got UK Power Networks, so like a regular, we managed to get on their books as a key supplier, so they're sort of our best client. But then we work for small local businesses, startups, recently doing some things for healthcare companies in the US who found us somehow via Google. But yeah, the main problem is just trying to work out how to scale up without losing too much money.
My name is Masood. I'm a university graduate in advertising. I'm a part-time creative strategist as well, and I like to resell vintage streetwear and sneakers and luxury. So that's just me.
I'm Seb. I recently graduated last year in French and Italian for Cardiff, and I recently finished an internship at a creative digital agency. And my biggest challenge at the moment is trying to break into the creative industry, advertising, branding, that sort of thing is what I'm really interested in. And so yeah, today I'm just here to kind of like see ideas, see how everything works, and just get to meet people really.
I mean, you all know me, no, just kidding. No, my name is Mario Ronchi. I'm the brand strategist and founder of ManuFracture. We're just a 2-person agency at the moment. I do branding strategy and identity work, and my partner Nathan, he does SEO, web design, and right now we're specializing around the real estate and manufacturing industrial industries at the moment. We're trying to break into those things, see which one works out, and we'll pick the one that works out, and that's really it at the moment. You know, trying to get clients, higher quality clients, not ones that are just trying to get just logo designs or brand identity or just a website design, you know, not those half-assed attempts at anything. You know, we want real branding clients. So yeah, that's about it.
My name is Fez, guys. Second half of Unrattled, founded Unrattled with Paul just over a year ago. Thank you.
You know, this is a bad angle, really. You know, it's just a really bad.
I'm my main role is business development, so it's part of the growth of the business, and I guess the biggest challenge is growth of the business. Finding people that, like you said, don't just want to solve the little issues tactilely, which is kind of like, I just need a logo, I need a website, but really digging deeper into seeing what the actual real objective is of the business and strategically trying to solve that. Thank you guys, and thank you for coming, guys.
Yeah.
I'm Luca. I'm a graphic designer at Unrattled. So basically, I think I'm Paul's second hand. Like that. So he's the half, I'm the second. Graduated last year back in Italy, Milan, and moved straight away to London because I think it's the best place to grow work-wise. And found this chance, and we're working hard. I'm trying to follow his steps, just trying to learn as much as I can, and we'll see what happens.
Cool. So my name is Miles. I'm 25. Been clean for 12 years.
What? I mean, I didn't mean it was. This is not Alcoholics Anonymous.
Sorry, forgot the memo. No, yeah. So I'm a graphic design intern at Unrattled. Brand new. I'm one of the greener members. This is my second week, but the sort of first part of my second week now, isn't it? So I'm really, really, really new. My background before that was just pretty much freelancing. I'm post-uni, but I didn't graduate. I took time out, so I interacted with studies, mainly to sort of kind of do what I'm doing now with Paul, which is sort of finding my feet as a designer. I specialize, I'd say, in branding solutions, usually for businesses, but I'd been doing that prior just off my own back. And, you know, so it was really good for me to come into Unrattled and see sort of how things go in the industry and see what's sort of expected of you. So I'm here to learn, much like Luca said. Yeah, I guess my biggest challenge right now is sort of finding my own feet as a designer and seeing where I fit in and what I can contribute to industry. Yeah.
Great.
I'm Natasha. So I'm here because I want to be able to get back into trying to like collaboration and things. My background is I graduated as with a BA Honours in Design from Goldsmiths 2 years ago, and I was under the impression I'd just walk straight into a job, and it didn't happen. Yeah. Even with like the bestest intention and the most will in the world, it doesn't happen. And I then worked for like part-time graphics for about 6 months, and was made redundant whilst working in like retail. And then I was just doing retail and telephone sales at the same time, and it got to a point where it's like, and that was only for 2 months, but I thought to myself, Jesus, I did not go to university and pretty much spend my whole life trying to become a designer to just end up like this. So I called around from previous networking I'd done the year before, because I tried to set myself up as freelance last year, got a client, kind of fucked it up, and then decided that this wasn't for me. So that's when I got my first graphic design job, and that, like I said, that was for six months, and I thought, how I'm going to try it again. And now for the last 2 months I've been I then phoned a woman called Zoe who owns Epics Media, who I met at a networking event the year prior, and she said, oh my god, hey, you know, it's so nice to meet you know, see you and everything. And then she said, actually, could you do some work for us? And now I'm being like on a rolling contract freelance with Epics Media, and also just got a job part-time for Apple. Just
okay.
Like retail.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing something.
Oh god, that would be amazing.
Yeah. So you're like an yeah, that could have been forever cemented in history, but you had to fuck that up.
I don't want to lie to anybody. Anyway, and basically I've been going to like Google Garage, which has actually been really helpful with trying to understand your own business. But at the moment I'm trying to understand my niche and my own branding, who I am, and how I can actually create a business that can help people, because obviously like the main thing is saving people time and saving people money, and it's not just about me. I've got to try and find a way to do something that helps my clients, about the clients. So yeah, that's where I am at the moment.
Cool. Great. Hi, I'm Lucy. So my background is creative direction and what goes under a direction, graphic design. I've been working in the industry for about 4 years. And after 4 years, I was a bit sick of everywhere I've been working, where I've been unlucky, really, to be always in companies that either treat their employee like, I can replace you tomorrow if I want, or treat their clients like, we don't give a shit about actually helping you, but we just want to bill you. So I was really tired of this environment, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do by myself. I'm going to do my own thing, and it's going to be my own rules, and it's going to work out. It didn't work out for the past year because obviously I didn't know anything about business, about starting a business. So learned, I discovered the future for everyone knows about the future here, right? So I discovered that channel so last year in the summer, and literally, as I was saying to Mario earlier, 70% of what I know about business is from that YouTube channel, so really valuable. And yeah, so basically after a year trying to run after the next run after the next project, that gonna pays the bills, I thought, you know what, I need to just start over and try to figure out like, who am I? It's just the process you're doing right now, like, who am I? What do I want to do? What are my goals? Doing my own brand strategy basically, which is freaking hard when it's for yourself.
Oh boy.
So I'm still kind of like, basically my goal is by the end of this week having almost everything and having a big discussion with my business coach basically next week. So I have to finish my personas and stuff. But anyway, that's the long story short. And basically right now my main challenge, if I would have one, is I have two things I'm thinking about offering. I'm thinking about offering some obviously consulting and one-to-one with direct clients, big project, work with bigger clients. But that feels to me that at this time it's going to be still hard to win, and it's not going to pay my bills every month. On the other side, I'm part of a lot of groups where I can see there are lots of entrepreneurs or people who are starting off their business and they need help, but they can't afford me. So I'm thinking about offering workshops to these people. And in the middle, there are startups that either don't want to hire a consultant because they have their own team, or they don't have the money, but they still need help. And right now, one of the ideas I had is trying maybe to be in touch with co-working space, but I don't know how. Like I tried once with one and it sounded like, can you send me all your customers so I can make money? This is how it sounded. And at least this is how they understand it. What I was trying to say was, can I add value to your business by offering you my services that you can then offer to your customer? That's how I was trying to sell it. But apparently she absolutely didn't took it this way. So that's my challenge. How do I, how can I offer this to this co-working space instead of sounding like I'm just gonna steal all your customers? Basically, you're just like a good, you're just a pool where I can fish for clients basically. So they don't feel like this. But yeah, that's the challenge at the moment.
Good challenge.
Yeah.
It's a good challenge.
Big one.
Yeah.
Very similar to what we were saying earlier in the year. And you said, how do I go to trade shows? Well, come back onto it, because I think as maybe a topic to discuss, that's a really interesting thing for some people to tap into as well. I think the interesting thing is going to be your own client in that scenario. But well, first we missed out Zoma.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mind me, I'm just the designer stalker. So I don't know what I'm doing actually. I have no clue what I'm doing. I've got too many things going on, so just juggling a bunch of stuff. But essentially what I do is I'm running an agency called Mosaic. So we mainly fulfill product imagery, and anything else that comes on the back of that we fulfill as well, so like upsell websites and that kind of stuff. So we're mainly in e-commerce, but I've also got a content channel that some of you guys are familiar with on YouTube, so it's called Mosaic TV.
Woo. You're one fan here.
Number two.
Brilliant. So just started up in March, trying to really push. I've reached my holy grail, which is every week I'm pushing out a piece of content, and I'm trying to tie that in with my business, but it's a bit confusing. I'm not sure where it's going. So there's elements of it that ties into what I do, but some of it is just me, just purely just wanting to get out there and learn from other people. So I interviewed Paul, I interviewed Fizan, and just had lots of interesting conversation from those interviews. So that's another side. So there's two kind of aspects to the channel. You know, my business, and then interviewing other experts as well. Apart from that, I'm also doing digital products. So I'm releasing a digital software very soon. So it's a SaaS essentially. So online web-based software, which is basically how this happened was I work with a lot of startup e-commerce clients, and as the demand grew for our services, we didn't want to say no to the startups that couldn't afford us, right? And they needed things that were quite simple. So rather than turning them down, we thought, let's create a software that is all template based, very similar to Canva.com. So very similar to Canva, but for the e-commerce market. So we're doing that and seeing where that's going. We're getting a bit of help from different experts on that as well. So yeah, just juggling a couple of things. Sometimes it's a bit, maybe too much. Some people say that I need to focus on one thing at a time. So that's my challenge at the moment, to see what should I focus on that gives me the most value, that will really give me, sustain probably the best future for me as well. But yeah, that's in a nutshell. So those 3 elements is what I do.
That's increased since we last spoke.
Sorry?
That's increased since we last spoke.
Yeah, it has.
More than the last time we caught up on the phone.
That's right. But yeah, me as a creative, my expertise is mainly, I was speaking to John earlier, I studied animation, computer animation, and from that, other stuff came as a byproduct. So, creative directing, I worked in broadcast for a while, so just naturally, video work, branding, motion graphics, all of that stuff comes as a byproduct. And so, I learned elements of these things on the side as well. So that's it.
Can I say something?
Sure.
But you were saying, how can I maybe make my YouTube channel have an impact with your business, or be linked to your business? Yeah. And I think the interviews are really interesting. You and like us, like other from the industry. But what if you're interviewing, finding a format of interview where you could interview clients you already had worked with, that could, other people, similar potential client could relate to, like, I've been there too, this is the kind of challenge I'm dealing with right now, to, not without, kind of like, obviously in the end it would look like a testimonial video, but more like an interview, like a conversation with the clients, and trying to identify what were the problems when you started looking for help with blah, and how did we help you? That could be really cool. And you would have both sides. You would have the inside the industry business side, where you prove that you have knowledge and you have a network about the industry, in the industry, but also for clients, this is really good because that shows that you're not just a lone wolf, basically. But at the same time, having clients interviews, that could be a way that the customer can actually relate to,
and they want to go to you because they're like, I have those problems too.
Or even like
No, that's excellent. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Plus the link in the description will go straight to your services page.
Exactly.
Find a solution to all your problems.
Absolutely. No, I love it. Yeah, definitely something I should implement. In fact, what it was, I was caught up in the passion of just trying to learn as well from creatives. So, but doing the client stuff, I think that would really, really kind of tie into my business. So, yeah.
But even what about, you could even maybe get clients from that, just like offering, instead of offering like a free consultation, you're offering a free filmed consultation. So people are accepting to have an interview with you, and this is for them, their free consultation, and you're actually going through the process of a free consultation, like how you're, the questions you ask to the clients, and how you come to the point where you identify what's the problem and maybe how we can solve it.
Yes, yeah.
That appeals to both, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
Because both people here and also clients.
That's right, so it's a 360 piece of content now, so yeah, definitely. I like that, I really do. Yeah, it's awesome.
I had a similar...
Oh, it's okay.
Now it's a question, who does it first?
This is how it goes.
Yeah.
You'll interview me one day. Let's say next
I already have.
Oh shit.
I was going to say, would that make a good TV show? Because I had a similar idea a long time ago, but not so much specified for the client to creative process. It was more It was more like a TV, you know, similar to the tattoo TV show that's on, I think, is it BBC or ITV, where people go with the old tattoos and get them redone.
Oh, Channel 4, the tattoo fix.
Yeah. I was thought that'd be, why don't we have?
Could it be like pimp? It could be like pimp my brand.
Pimp my brand, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Have Exhibit coming off the back.
Yeah,
I thought that'd be a really good.
Maybe get Stormzy in there and just like, yo, we're gonna do brand.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. But yeah, I always thought that. Why isn't there something like that for
Remember,
creators?
you can be quite subtle with it. So, like, if he's doing interviews and stuff, this is like a consultation. But if you're doing interviews and stuff, there's always mechanisms where you can introduce, the backdrop of your agency, people walking around and stuff like that. And the people that have got the dough, and the people that have got a project burning at the end of the back of their mind will connect those dots.
Yeah.
Like you're putting out an ecosystem of content, and following the breadcrumbs back to your services page is not a big deal for people.
If they've got the money, they'll just watch it and go, rather than watch a whole series and learn from it, they'll just phone you up and go, can I just have that service?
Like, oh, for a little bit of this.
Yeah, as long as you're mindful to inject enough of you and your capability and your agency in there, but you don't have to be salesy about it. You don't have to put at the end www./ you don't have to do that. People are intelligent enough to then this guy has a lot going on, maybe I need to contact him. Red Bull they put out content about everything, skateboarding, free running.
Oh, look at their own channel.
Yeah, and they interview some of my favourite artists on like this couch, and some of these interviews are amazing. You can't get them from anywhere else. But at the end, they don't say have a Red Bull.
No,
it's
just
sort
that,
of it's more of an indoctrination.
They build that association between extreme sports like hip hop. Like it's so amazing that just an energy drink now becomes associated to all those things.
Exactly. Yeah. So just indoctrinate people.
That's not what Welcome to Mind Manipulation 101, where we show you how to control your customer's mind.
Is that why we're in a cabin?
It's pretty sketchy, right? You know? It's the client in the closet over there. We need to get the client just experiment on his brain. Yeah.
That's cool. That's a good idea.
No, but that's a good idea.
I think it's quite broad, definitely. A lot I suppose you could do with that. Well, that's some of you guys that are starting out. So I think the majority of people in the room could help some of the guys that are starting out. What sort of challenges are you guys kind of facing fresh out of uni? And
well, the thing is, I think, for me, my problem is how I kind of, as you were saying, like marketing, yourself, your own brand strategy, and for me, like. Coming from like a linguistic background with my degree, it doesn't scream advertising, but like, I kind of built my passion for advertising, branding, marketing through, on the outside. I've got a few family members who, big in the creative industry, and I've always seen their campaigns and stuff, and so I was just like, I really want to get into that. And it's kind of like promoting this degree to be like, there was a reason for it, but it doesn't just scream it. So it's kind of like, okay, how do I get into that? And I feel like for me, you need experience to get experience, and I'm at that entry level stage. And like recently, so I was at a digital marketing agency, and I was doing an internship there, and I was really enjoying it. I was doing a lot of social media stuff and creating promotional content with the designer there. And I was really making my mark, and I was really enjoying kind of like, I felt like the agency was very creative, innovative, vibrant, especially they're called like hotcakes. So I didn't want to like play on that, directly with the hotcake thing, but kind of just wanted to show it as like a brand that thought out of the box. And so I kind of like set up an Instagram page for them, just to kind of like portray like the agency life, what goes on, the different sorts of campaigns, and unfortunately they just weren't able to offer me anything permanent at the end of it. And so I started working up, and then all of a sudden, just unable to find, and now I have to kind of like start again. And my problem is that just putting up, I'm applying everywhere at the moment, and I'm, I kind of feel like, where am I going wrong? Because they never get back to you with any feedback, and it's just kind of like a circle. And I'm trying to do my best, you know, making sure that I'm not just a one-trick pony. You know, I used to do gymnastics, very competitive gymnastics, at international level, and you know, I try and promote myself like that. But then sometimes it's just like it's not enough.
I'm the gymnastics designer.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of like show my creativity through that, and you know, through all my experiences, it's kind of like contributed to me being interested in branding. But I just need that kind of like solid thing that kind of like, you know, puts me on to the next level, gets me something permanent.
Like you need somebody to give you a break.
Yeah, exactly. So that's you know, it's just kind of like, I guess for me, trying to find out different ways of networking and how to really get myself out there would be really useful advice.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll feel like a hamster on a wheel, and it's only a year later that something will slot into place.
Yeah.
Which you did a year ago, and it feels like nothing happened. Like the only reason why I'm freelancing for Epics Media is because I met them last year at a networking event, and I then phoned her up again recently and said to her, do you have anything? And she was really happy to hear from me. So don't forget the people that you met even like ages ago, because they will be interested to hear from you, especially if they like you as a person as well. You know, sometimes you have to give yourself more credit that people do want you, people do like you. It's just, you gotta believe that. There was a really good quote. It said, just because somebody doesn't see your value doesn't mean that you are worthless. Like you have the value there. It's them that's the issue, that they can't see what you're worth.
Yeah.
So always like have that self-belief. But yeah, it wasn't until like with Epics Media, and I was like, oh my god, finally the wheel stopped. And now I can get off the wheel and now progress rather than just being stuck.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Although it's just a waiting game sometimes, and just not pestering people, but
Persistent.
Like being persistent, showing you're driven, showing you want it, showing that you're like, sometimes,
Be
just you're a genuine person as well. Be sincere. That's also a good thing. And humble.
Ask questions, listen to people. That's try to be the listener, not the one who talks.
Just don't be a dick, really.
Good advice.
It really is not.
You're a driven person anyway, so trust that will naturally come across.
It already sounds like you're doing the right stuff already.
Yeah.
So you're replying to loads of people already.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you reply to 100 people and
And
90
even
might
just-
not read your email, but 10 will, and this year they'll go, oh, actually, there's that guy, he did that.
And even just from the internship, it was just, you know, so just useful just to get an idea of how an agency works and the different services, and even like the problems that agencies are experiencing. Like how, like the agency that I was working at, they didn't know how to market themselves. Like they did a bit of print, they did a bit of digital, but now they want to kind of like get into digital, you know, fully like offer like full digital services, but you know, but they're not used to that, and they have to market themselves in a way that will appeal to people looking for those services.
Are you looking for a job, like a permanent job right now in an agency?
Yeah, absolutely. Like even like kind of like brand strategist or like account executive. I feel like I'm quite good at communicating with people, and kind of like so I either kind of want to have a creative role in it, or either just kind of like be a part of the process and help it kind of like run smoothly, and that's what I enjoyed at the agency.
One piece of advice in terms of recruitment and how the recruitment industry works. All the job boards like Indeed, Read, and etc. They works like Google. It's by ranking. The more you apply, the more you get high in the results.
I didn't know that.
All my freelancing, I've been working like that. They never called me back for a job I actually applied for. They called me back because they found my CV on Read. They found my CV because